Assalamualaikum and hi everyone, how are you guys? Today we are going to start chapter 5 on decimals, and in which we will cover these 13 concepts. And thank you very much guys for watching and learning here. You guys are amazing and you are the best audience. So let's begin our lesson number 1, in which we'll cover these 3 topics. Okay, decimals. A decimal is a number which with a decimal point is simply called a decimal. Okay, let's first talk about normal numbers. The numbers, let's suppose I am going to write a number 3. So this is your natural number, whole number, right? So every natural number or every whole number, that is also a decimal. Why? Because if there is no decimal point shown to you, by default in mathematics the decimal point is here, right? So whether you write 3 as 3 or 3.0, so both are having the same value. Why? Because after the decimal point, if you're going to keep on putting number of zeros, it would not contain any worth, right? So if you put 3.0 or 3.00 or 3.000, that is also equal to 3. So now in this case we are talking about those numbers in which there is a decimal point, and after the decimal point there is certain non-zero value. Let's suppose 3.02. So now we can call this number as purely as our decimal number, right? But it does not mean that your natural numbers are not decimals. They are also decimal numbers. Only the difference is the decimal point is not going to be shown or to be written with those values, right? So in this case we are talking about the the numbers that are after the decimal point. They must be having certain non-zero values. So a decimal is a number that is written using the base 10 place value system. Now what does it mean? It means, let's suppose we are going to write an example, let's say 0.1. So when I'm going to write this value in the form of fraction, it will be equal to 1/10, right? Or if I'm going to write this value in the scientific notation form, then this value will be, so right now by default the power of this 10 is 1. 1 means positive 1. So once I'm going to shift this 10 which is in the denominator, I'm going to shift it into the numerator value, so its power has been changed to +1 to -1, right? So see, your base is 10 and your powers are going to be increased or decreased. Similarly, if I'm going to write 0.01, so if I'm going to convert it into the fraction, so this will become 1 over, remember we have already learned the conversions from decimal to fraction, fraction to percentages. So just put this in place of this decimal point, write 1 and see there are how many digits, 2 digits, so write 2 number of zeros. This is how we convert decimal into a fraction, right? And again I can write this 1/100 as 10 raised to power. I can write this 100 as 10 square, because 10 square is equal to 10 times 10, which is equal to 100. So if I'm going to write this number in a scientific notation form or with the base 10, so this value will become 10 raised to power -2. So this is the reason why they are talking about this base 10, right? Or according to the third definition, it says a decimal separates the ones and the tens. We'll look into depth later on what does it means actually. Okay, so decimal place values. So whenever we are going to talk about decimal, so decimal is a number that would contain basically two portions, two parts. In between there is always a decimal point. So you can see here a decimal point. So there are certain numbers that we are going to write before the decimal point, and there are certain numbers that are to be written after the decimal point, right? So there are different names for the numbers to be written before the decimal point and the numbers to be written after the decimal point. Okay, let's just talk about an example in order to understand this concept more clearly. So let's suppose I have just written a certain example, 1 2 3 4 5 6.1234556. Okay, now what are the place values of these numbers? So let's just talk about the place values before the decimal point. So right now we are talking about these numbers. So the place value of this digit 6 is unit or ones, you can see here. The place value of this digit 5 is 10. Okay, whenever if you'll get confused what is the place value of a certain number, so whatever the number you are going to find out its place value, just write 1 above it or underneath it. Let's suppose the place value of this digit I don't know, so just write 1 here. So what number you're getting? 1. Similarly, I'm not sure what is the place value of this digit 5. So the place value of this digit 5 is, just write 1 above it and see there are how many digits after it till you reach the decimal point. So there is just one digit, so just put 10. So now see, you got what number you're getting? 10. So the place value of digit 5 is 10. You can see here, right? Okay, let's move on to next. So the place value of digit 4, we need to find out the place value of this number. So write 1 above it and see there are how many digits after this number, after 4 till you reach the decimal point. So there are 2 digits, so write 2 number of zeros. So what number we are getting? 100 or 100. So the place value of digit 4 is 100. You can see here, right? And similarly and so on, you can apply this strategy to all of these numbers. So the number, what is the place value of number 3? So just write 1 above it and put the number of zeros above the number of digits till you reach the decimal point. So what number we are getting? 1000 or 1000. So the place value of digit 3 is thousands, right, with S. Similarly, the place value of digit 2 is, just write 1 here and put number of zeros, 4 number of zeros. So the place value of digit 2 is 10,000 and the place value of digit 1 is 100,000. Got it? So you just need to memorize or remember these names, these place values. It will never get changed. It will always remain the same. Now let's just talk about the numbers that are after the decimal point. So remember one thing, the place value always started with the 10th, not with the unit. In this case it always started with the unit. In this case it always started with the 10. Just write TEN 10 and TH. Now what does it mean? It means we are talking about there are total 10 slices or 10 pieces and we are just talking about the one part of it, right? So 1/10 means 1 out of 10. Got it? Okay. So the place value of this digit number 1 is 10th, TEN with TH. Place value of this digit 2 is 100th with TH. Place value of this digit 3 is 1000th with TH. Place value of this 4 is 10,000, place value of 5 is 100,000 and place value of 6 is 1 millionth, right? So you just need to memorize these names, the names of these place values. I hope you have got the concept. Okay, let's just solve few questions. So identify the place value of the underlined digit. So what is the place value of this digit 6? So first you need to find out whether this number is before the decimal point or after the decimal point, because we are having different names for both of these two numbers, right? So since it is before the decimal point, so it started with unit or ones, unit, 10 and hundreds. So the place value of digit 6 is 100 or 600, right? So the place value of this digit 3, since this is after the decimal point, so it always started with the 10th, right? So the place value of this number is 10th, TENTH, or simply 0.3. Then the place value of this digit 7 is unit tens. So it's 7 tens. 7 tens means 7 times 10, which is equal to 70, right? Let me just show you here. So if it is 7 tens, 7 tens. So 7 tens means 1, 10 means 10 in numeric form, and 10 times 7 is 70. So this is how you are getting this value. So the place value of digit 7 is, so it's 10th, 100th, 1000th. So it's 1000th is the place value, or simply 0.007. 0.007 or 10,000, right? Okay. The next is the place value of digit this 9. So it's 10th, 1000th, 10th, 100, 1000, 10,000, 100,000, and 9 millionth, right? Or you can simply write 0 point, how many number of zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 zeros, and just simply put a 9. So this is how you are going to solve these place values. Okay, now moving on to next, how to write the decimals in words. So this is 6.7. So we write it as 6 ones. So place value of this digit 6 is unit or 1. 6 units or 6 ones and 7 tenths, right? So see, 6 ones and 7 tenths. Okay, I can write it like this: 6 ones and 7 tenths. Next is 10.3. So it's 10 ones and 3 tenths. 10 and 3 tenths, or 10 ones and 3 tenths. The next is 54.12. Okay, remember one more thing: whenever we are going to pronounce the numbers after the decimal point, it is not like 54.12. that is a wrong pronunciation. So after the decimal point, we are going to pronounce the numbers individually. So this number is 54.12 rather than 54.12. So it's 54 ones and 12 what? So it's 12, 10, 100. So it's 1200, or simply 54.12. When we are talking about with respect to their place values, then you can pronounce it as a collective number, which is 12. So 12 is 100. so it's 54 ones and 1200. Similarly, 50 ones and 666. So what is the place value of this digit? 10, 100,000. So 666,000, right? 50 ones and 666,000. Similarly, 3.021. So the place value of this digit 1 is 10th, 100th, 1000. So it's 3 ones and 21,000, right? Okay. And the last number is 333 ones, or simply you can write it as 3 ones, then 3 tens and 3 hundreds, or simply write 333 and 43,075. Now what this number is representing? 10th, 100th, 1000, 10,000, 100,000. So 333 and 43,075, 100,000. Okay, I hope you have got the concept. This is a very introductory session related to these decimals. So here comes to an end of our today's session. Stay blessed, be happy, keep smiling, and thank you guys for once again for watching and learning here. Keep learning and stay safe out there. We'll catch up later.
I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see